This daf Yerushalmi Shevi'is. The article Oz V'Oda edition around daf Nun Zayin Amral for the Mishnah Halacha Beis Lulav Yischodin. In the Vilna, we're on Yud Tesam Beis Halacha Beis Lulav Yischodin, and as we have been saying for a while, as close of our learning Yerushalmi should be as close for the soldiers and hostages and Kol Yoshvei Eretz Yisrael that we should be victorious over our enemies, the Rushoim in Gaza, Yimach Shema Zichram. Rabbi Zradim v'Charuvin mentioned that Zradim are hawthorn. Not that that helps very much, but that's what they are. And the shoots of hawthorn and Charuvim of carobs, Yeshlem Shevi'is Dmei Shevi'is. They have Shevi'is, and they are their money used to buy them also has Shevi'is, because it can be eaten. The way they're eaten, the Mishnah Uktzin Pergil Mishnah Dal, it says by soaking them in vinegar until their bitterness goes away. That makes them sweeter. Lulavi ha'Allah, shoots of oak, hilah va'bitna, pistachio, va'atadin, and a type of thorn bush. Yeshlem Shevi'is, they have Shevi'is. We don't know what exactly they're used for. It could be that they can be eaten. It could be that they are used for could be used for dye. We don't know, but they have Shevi'is. The main Shevi'is, and the beer main beer, but they don't have biur because since they are shoots, they never color to the animal mina svada. Avlalin yesh biur, but the leaves, those edible leaves, do have biur neshanoshim meibein because they shed, and I'm assuming that they certainly shed in the winter. These are not evergreens. So therefore, when the edible leaves, or leaves that are used for dye, we don't know exactly what they did with the leaves. When they are gone from the field, you have to be mavar them, bais. Okay, so it says the Mishnah further. Haveret va'kofer. A vered is a rose, and they would be soaked in honey to make them edible. Va'kofer, it's another type of spice. It's called henna in English, and va'kataf, it's called balsam. It is in English, it is a sap from the persimmon tree, which is used for a refuah. Va'lotem, it is it's lot in pasuk. It's noach 3 velot in Breish Lam Zayin Chafei and Mem Gimel Rav. That lot is lotem, and it is mastiki. Breish Rabbah says, which is mastik, and then Mar Hebrew's gum. So this is a gum which one choose either for a refuah or because one has a bad breath. It's the Tosefta and Shabbos Yikim Zayin. They say that it is a wild rose. In Latin, it's called the cistus, which grows in Eretz Yisrael, and they also make some fragrant sauce, I guess, something similar to maple syrup, although it's not maple syrup, from this lotam. Yeshem Shevi'is with Meir Shevi'is. So again, these are edible, and they have Shevi'is with Meir Shevi'is. Shimon and the ktaf Shevi'is made angel in a pre. Shimon says not the ktaf because it's not a fruit; it's a sap, and a sap does not, according to Shimon, does not have shmita. Vered chadash. If you have a new rose of Shevi'is, shekavsha b'shem yashim, which you soaked in old oil from the 6th year, you lock it as a vered. You have to remove the rose from the oil in order to be mevared when the entire beer comes. Conversely, Yashim Chodesh, if you put a rose of the 6th year in oil the 7th year, Chai B'Biur, then it's the oil is chai b'pir, but also the rose which gets suffused with the oil. Charuvin chadashim shekav shem yain yashan, new carobs that you soaked in old wine. So that means carobs of seventh year, you soak in wine in sixth year. Yishani b'chodesh, and vice versa. Old carobs in wine of the sixth year, and you soak them in wine in the seventh year. Chaim and beer, they're both chaim and beer. Again, the wine and the carobs which soaked up the wine. Zaka is a general principle. Koshu nos benosi tam, anything which gives a taste. Chayav avar min b'shein amino, you have to avar it if it's min b'shein amino, because you can tell you still have the taste of shemitah. Min b'mino b'koshu, by min b'mino, where there's no taste involved, then the shear is a koshu. There's going to the shear, the one would think is going to the opinion that min b'mino is not batel, but no, this is the davar shishlam atirin, because you could eat it before this amount of beer, which is fascinating. Davar shishlam atirin, because normally davar shishlam atirin means it's not before a certain time, it's after a certain time. But here, since before a certain time, you can eat it, so it's davar shishlam atirin. Hashvius says kol shebemina. The Shemitah asers, no matter how small the shear, in its own type, and therefore they have to you have to do beer on it. And again, since it's a davar shishlam atirin, you should have to do beer. If it's mean b'shein amino, then the shear is no same tam. And that brings us to the Gemara. Perosha de Pirka, at Amarta ein ochlin al ikar. At the beginning of the parak, you said that you don't eat on the basis of the root. So in any event, it's not literally the beginning of the parak, but rather earlier in the discussion. That lulav zorin and charuvin in the which you have in the house, you can't eat them on the basis of those which remain in the fields, and the assumption is that those lulav which remain in the fields become hard. I'm not sure actually, but I should figure out what that means exactly. What does the Bnei Moshe says here? Moshe is going on the Alin and the Sefer. So the Ribaz takes out these words. It says Barosha Amar the Einochlin al Ikar the Tevas Pirka Nimchak. So the Mashbiach and the Kavanaki have different ways of dealing with the Rosh Pirka, but the Ribaz takes it out. Not the Ribaz. Tevas Pirka Nimchak Yerushalmi Shevi'is Yodi Me'agrozal. The Grot takes it out. At the beginning of the Mishnah, we learned that Lulav Zorim have beer. Even though it remains in the ground, the root remains in the ground. You don't eat the lovim on the basis of the ikar which remains in the ground. At the end, you say by lovim of the oak, etc. The Einla beer, they have no beer. The Ochlin Ali Karo, the Miskaim Boretz. You can eat based on the roots which remain, the shoots, the primary shoots which remain in the ground. Bakashim Reish the Sefer. That's ever the Reish the Sefer. Shani Amra Papa. Taman Ein Sofam Hakshos. Let's before we see inside, let's finish the Ribaz. There they don't get hard. Peish Jabresha Ein Sofam Hakshos. They don't get hard, therefore you can rely on them because they're still edible in the ground. The Seifa, Mashkim Seifa, which is the Sof Lakshos, came Shukshu Nasu Kavian. So once they become hard, they become the way you say it, the Reisha ain't some Hakshos. So therefore, they have beer. The soft ones, which you have to be mavar them. The seifa, the ones you remove ground, also get tough, And since they get tough, they're no different than the ikar remains in the ground, so there's no beer. So again, according to the way the Ritbaz learns it, in the Reisha, they do get hard. The ones who harvested don't get hard. So, and the ones who remain in the ground get hard. So therefore the ones you harvested have beer when there are no more soft ones out in the field. In the Seifa, the ones you harvested also get hard. So therefore, there is no beer because the ones you have at home are no better than the ones which remain out in the field. So let's see that inside. Barosha atamarta enochli mali ikar. You have to be mevar the lulavin. The car at the end, Mishnah Omar ochlan ikar. Do eat based on the ikar. Or Pinchas Bino says Taman ain't sobam hakshos. Beginning Mishnah Reisha, they're not going to get hard, and therefore you have to do beer on the ones which are in your house, which are soft, when the ones in the field go hard. But at the end of the Mishnah, sof and hakshos, the ones you harvested are also going to go hard. So therefore, they're no different than the ones which remain in the ground, and therefore there's no beer necessary. Okay, Tani, any of them which went from the 6th year into the 7th year, shishis we go after shishis because we go after chanota, when they became buds. So that would mean that they have the status of shishis. Chutz mean Edel, Mibnei Shukiyerek. So Edel, they translate like anything else we don't know. It's a cress. So a cress is like a vegetable, and by vegetables we go after the time of Lakita. So if we go to the 6th and 7th, it's status of that of Shemitah. Yochanan was said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. Leis kan shishis l'shvius. Shishis ela shvius. So the we don't have from the 6th and 7th is 6 of the 6th, but rather of the 7th. So the Kavanoki says in the name of the Chazanish that everybody agrees that these things in the Mishnah don't have a shem ochel until you designate them from to be ochel, and the machlokus is when you thought about them at the time you gathered them. So what do we say there? We say that we thought of them when you gathered them by Yerushalmi Shevi'is. The machshava designated them to be food. It's during Shemitah, so it's to be Shemitah food. Otherwise, say Gloy Milsam Afreya. When you planted in Shishis, it was also, even though the machshava is during Shevi'is at the end, it was planted in order to be edible, and therefore you should go after Shishis. So that's the first opinion holds that where the machshava on them in Shemitah makes them Shishis because he Gloy Milsam Afreya. Revo says not true. Enkan Shishis Ella Shvi'is. It goes after. It has the status of Shemitah. And that brings us to the second line in Nunches Amar Aleph, so we will stop here for today.